All right, guys, day 3 of me trying to recover my hacked YouTube page of 140K plus subscribers. It doesn't even matter anyways. Now, if you have a YouTube page, in this video, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you should know before something like this happens, what you kind of should do while it's happening, and what is after. I haven't gotten to that point. So at the moment, like I said, I'm in day 3. I reached out to Twitter, YouTube team. They did respond to me within hours, but now it's been about, like I said, the 3rd day. I finally got the link to this form that I need to open up a case and get the ball rolling on as far as recovery. There's a couple of key things that you should know, information right now that as a YouTuber you should have hard copy, not saved in this encrypted app, or hard copy, old school 1970 paper and pencil. Right? The first one is going to be your YouTube channel ID. Not your link to your YouTube channel, not your profile name or your YouTube handle, your YouTube channel ID. When you find that YouTube channel ID, there will also be a user ID. Write those numbers down. Hard copy them, write them down. Don't save them on your computer. How do you get to those? If you go to your YouTube channel, you click on your profile picture, go to settings, and then you should see something advanced settings. In the advanced settings tab, you'll see channel ID, user ID. Write those down. Now, once you get that, you're going to need that to prove to YouTube that it's you. And unfortunately, like, I didn't know these user IDs. Like, I remember the user ID once before when I signed up for vidIQ. I needed my channel ID, but I never wrote it down. I just copied it and put it in the app. So what I ended up doing, I don't know if it worked. I went to where my YouTube channel used to be, and in the link is actually, once you go to your URL, in there is embedded your ID code. Once you just click on your YouTube channel, you're on your home page, your ID code is embedded in there. I hope, because that's the only thing I had to use, because I didn't write it down, right? I didn't write it down. If you're monetized, write down all of your Google AdSense monetizing stuff, your IDs, your emails connected to that, your IP, all that. Just write it down. I saved all my stuff in my email. I never wrote it down. I'm like, I'll just leave it in my email. It's the best place. I know it's safe. I should have wrote all that down. I didn't. So that's the things that I would do as of a YouTuber right now at this moment. If you're watching those videos, stop watching this video, go write those ID down and come back and watch the rest of this video. Now, if you are being hacked, like you're in the process of it right now, and you were scrambling like I was, searching for YouTube, how do I get my account back? Stop panicking, calm down. Go to YouTube, Twitter, YouTube creator team. Just search YouTube, Twitter, and you'll start seeing all these, and you'll see creator team or team YouTube. Go there, report it there. Relax. They'll get back to you in a couple of hours, but it's going to take a couple of days before we get the ball rolling, before you might get this link to this form that you need to do to start trying to recover your page. Be patient. Start documenting everything while it's being hacked. What time your profile changed? What did they upload? You know, document everything. Just vlog it like I did. Start vlogging while you're being hacked. Protect yourself. Check all your emails. Clean all that stuff up. Again, like I said, I got hit by this thing called Redline Stealer. If you are logged into any account when this malware attacks, it has access to that. Luckily, I had my stuff on an old laptop that I just reformatted many months ago. So the only thing that was signed in, knock on wood, was my Patrick Levar email in Google Chrome that I use so my daughter can play ABC games. That was it. I didn't do anything else on that laptop. My main laptop is separate. Now, oh, well, you shouldn't use Google. You should use Linux. No, it doesn't matter if you got a Mac, a PC, with Linux, Chrome, Foxfire. Once this malware is in your system, it's got you. You should just use Linux OS. Guess what most hackers use to build all this stuff? Linux OS. It doesn't matter. You just need to protect yourself. Do not download shady links. Do not click on shady links. And another thing they do to get you especially the YouTubers, they say it's a sponsorship. Like, I want you to try this new app. It's a sponsorship. Can you download it and we'll get you set up? Or download this contract so we can get you set up. And that's not the truth. Like, if it's a .exe or a .st something, I can't remember the other one, don't make, unless you know it's solid. And then what they do to bypass some of this, well, the two-step notification, how come they didn't kick in? Because once this malware is on your system, it bypasses that because it's using your system as like the hub. So your system thinks, oh, this is you, but it's not. So that's what makes this thing very dangerous. So make sure you write those down. And another thing with this software that is very tricky that I learned, like, you know, I'm like, this is what you got to do. Think like a hacker. You got to study this. You got now this year, I'm going to be staying up to date on what these guys are doing. What's the latest malware hacker trend if you really want to protect yourself? So again, like a lot of times you might get some red flags where if the file, like I guess the malware, if it's like over 600 megabytes size wise, it kind of bypasses Google's defense system or Windows Defender because it won't scan the file because it's too large. What these hackers do is they'll put their little tiny hack file and then they'll implode it with this fake data just to make it huge so it can bypass that first step. And I think that's why I didn't even look at how big the file or the WinZip was. I didn't even look at that. It could have been like 700 megabytes. And if I would have noticed that, I'm like, whoa, a WinZip app, 700 megabytes? That's not right. That should be a red flag. But I didn't check. So pay attention to the stuff you downloaded, even if it's legitimate or not. And just take a moment to see like, there's lots of free softwares that you can use to scan these. But again, like I said, they got tricks. They know this. They know that you're going to take your file and go scan it before at this website. They know what that website's looking for. So they said they beefed up the whole file, so it bypasses that. Like, oh, this website says the limit is 650 megabytes. Oh, well, we'll make our 750 megabytes. So now they won't scan it. So take precautions in that. So to sum up my jibber jabbering here, make sure you have your YouTuber ID, your AdSense ID. Another thing, video IDs, not video titles, video IDs. Save that. Luckily this year I started archiving all my uploads and keeping the links to links. And I think inside the links, the ID might be embedded on the videos. Don't quote me on that. But now I'm going to make sure I hard copy all my video links that I upload. The ID. Everything has an ID with YouTube. They don't care about the damn title and the shared link. The ID is most important. Okay. Again, document everything while you're being hacked. Don't freak out. Stay calm. Be cool with the YouTube team. Like they getting thousands of these requests a day. Be cool with them, right? And most likely, if you be cool with them, they'll be cool with you. And yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. It's day 3. The form is in. I hope I can get it back. Deep in my heart, I'm preparing myself mentally to not get my channel back. So I'm not going to be tremendously hurt. Tremendously hurt. I'm planning, if I do get my channel back, there won't be anything left. Just preparing myself mentally. If it's better than what I'm preparing myself for, yata, it was great. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Patrick Levar, stay safe, take care of yourself, protect yourself, and keep filming. Peace.